Hey everyone, I wanted to review a section that is, you watched prior videos in this how-to section. You'll notice this section is looking totally different than when you saw it in the prior settings screens. That's because they updated this section here, and it only affects this section, although it looks like a lot. We're going to be talking about all that down to all the way down to here. So it's no different than what you were using in the past if you were currently using Simple Strat. However, it gives you a whole lot more granularity and a whole lot more capabilities to control what type of Strat setups you are using on higher time frames. Okay, so we're going to start all the way up here. We've already reviewed these. We're going to start here. So our very highest time frame. I'm going to use the typical Strat setup in that month, week, day, 60. So I can specify how I want my month to look. I can say, well, I really only care if I want it. I just want it to be, green, right? Or maybe I want it to be in force, right? Or maybe I only want to trade if it's a 2 down, 2 up on the month. So it's, currently a 2 down, 2 up on the month, and it's in force. And if it's in force, it's obviously, well, technically not, because you can have a gap on the month. That'd be odd. But anyway, yeah, so you can set whatever you want. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and select green only on the month, and we'll just follow this right down. I'm going to say green on the month, green on the week. Maybe I want it to be, 2 down, 2 up, or a 2-1-2 reversal back up on the day, and then on the hour, let's say I want it to be in force. I don't really care if it's a Strat setup. If it's a like a 2-1-2 or a 2-2. Maybe I just want to know that it's in force. And any of these you can change. So you can lower these time frames or what have you. But these are all higher time frames. And what I mean by that is these are not the time frames or time frame you're going to enter the trade in on. You're going to use this section right here to specify what kind of signal you're going to enter the trade on. Now remember, a lot of the Strat has to do with multiple time frames and being able to understand what's going on in multiple time frames. Rob often talks about, he uses an analogy of a top deck, and like a top deck crashes down on the deck below it, and it just continues to pick up momentum and it keeps crashing down. It's a terrible analogy, but you get the point. So we're looking for Strat signals on multiple time frames, whether they are triggering or they're currently in force or they have triggered or what have you, so that we know that those higher time frames actually have a direction. There's a reason why the lower time frame reversal is supposed to work. So we've set our higher time frames all up here. We're going to set what our actual entry time frame is over here. So if we've set it all up for the month, week, day, and hour, that would mean I want to enter in sometime below the hour. So I'm on the 15-minute chart. I don't know if you could see that right here, 15-minute chart. So that means I'm going to be entering on a 15-minute chart. So let's say I want to look at 2 down, 2 up reversals on the 15-minute chart, and it's all these other conditions have to also be true. Maybe I want to also throw in there 2-1-2 continuation and 2-1-2 reversal. And as we check these things, this is updating over here. Maybe we just want to see what the 2-1-2s look like. So it's adjusting as we're clicking on this stuff. Now we can also adjust all our higher time frames on the fly like this as well. So maybe we don't want it in force. Let's see what the hour looks like if it's a 2-2. 50%, 1 to 2. There we go. So you can do that all the way up and down. Now, what this means here, let's look at this in a different way. Let's say that you want to enter your trade in on an hourly chart. So this chart right here, we're going to change this to a 1 hour chart. Okay, we're going to pull up the same settings, and we're going to go back to here. Now, our 1 hour chart, we're supposed to enter in below this 1 hour chart. Excuse me, this is our higher time frames configured at 1 hour, but we know that it's using this as our strat entry. When this, just as a point of reference, when you have an hour strat signal, when you have this stuff filled out for the hour, for example, and this stuff also filled out for the hour, these two are going to conflict with each other, so you're going to get some wonky signals. It's very easy to, configure it. You just need to move all your time frames. So if this is the hour that you're entering in on, well, let's change this to, maybe you want this to be the 4 hour, or maybe you want it to be the day. And then we move up to the day, and then we say, well, I want the day to be the week instead. And I only care about going up to the week. I don't even care about the month. So let me go to, if you go to chart, it means that it's disabled. Okay. So go to chart, and that means that this is disabled right here. Now, if you I'll give you another example here, another, gotcha, if you will. If you have the month selected, or if you have any actual day or time entity selected in here, it's going to look for the checkboxes. So if you have a time in here but no checkboxes, it's going to say, well, there's no trades. It doesn't see any trades because there's no situation like this on the month. All you got to do is make sure you just change it to chart, which disables the time frame, this section of time frames here, and it fixes it right over here. So we have nothing. We're not, this setting has no time frame. This has no time frame. Week, day, and we're entering in on the 60 because we're on the 60 chart. We're on the 1 hour chart. So hopefully that makes sense. Just keep in mind, these are all nested. You can mix and match and do whatever you want. You can continue to just use one time frame if you want. Just turn everything off the chart. You can, however way you want it, but the flexibility and the granularity is here. Thanks so much, and be well.